Hi everyone, it's Di here from Di's Den, and this week I'm going to show you how I made this card. It's called a hidden gift card holder, and here we have a gift card. Well, this is actually my old Amasim card because I couldn't find a gift card, but I didn't need all that outside bit, I just needed that little bit in the middle there. So when my card gave up the ghost, so I thought that was great because I could use that to show you how easy that comes in and out. And it's got a lovely little thing here so you can put your hand in there to pull it out. It's a lovely card. It stands up like a normal card, and it's just really different and really easy. So, and a great card for any occasion. Mother's Day, which is already gone. Father's Day, if you were doing a mail card. Birthdays, anniversaries, or just because you love somebody. And that's a great thing too. So this is the card we're going to be making, and we're going to be doing it with the beautiful Hues of Happiness stamp set and papers again in the bundle. I have the beautiful gems here that came with the set, absolutely gorgeous. And we're going to be using the purple ones obviously because we're going to be doing ours in purple today. We're going to be using Gorgeous Grape and Highland Heather, so these are Gorgeous Grape from memory. I'm going to be using this die here. This is from the Colour Contour set, and this horrible piece of magnetic stuff doesn't hold my dies very well. It is the third one out of the 6, so it's 1, 2, 3 or 1, 2, 3, it doesn't matter which way around you do it. So it's going to be the third one out of the set. That's all I'm going to be using out of this set. And you can hear that just all falling off again. I'm going to have to put another piece in there. And we're going to use the Hues of Happiness Abounds. And we're going to be wishing you all the happiness you can imagine, and happy birthday. Now I've stamped and cut out this leaf because I had some flowers that I cut out when I was doing another project a couple of weeks back. So I've actually got a couple of flowers that are left over, so I'm using those flowers, but I didn't have any leaves left, so I've actually stamped out the leaves and cut them out, and they came out of a piece of scrap white. So our Hues of Happiness paper is absolutely gorgeous and I absolutely love it. I can't see me wanting to part with any of it really. So let me go through what you need. Okay, so we'll pop those on the one side, they're up there. Oops, I've got one of those. Okay, so we need a piece that is 11 3/4 by 4 1/8. And for our inside our card, we need a piece that measures, let me see if I can read better than this far away. I can't read that far away. Oh my goodness, I'll come over in trouble. There we go. For my inside, we need a piece that measures 3 5/8 by 3 7/8, sorry, by 5 5/8, and then a white piece on top that measures 3 5/8 by 5 3/8. I think that's right. Yes. And then we've just got a little strip here of our design series paper that measures 5 3/8 by 1 inch. So that's just for the inside of our card. Okay, for our front piece, we need a piece that measures 3 7/8 by 2 3/4 and 3 5/8 by 2 1/2. Let's make sure that's the right one. Yep, so that's the front one. For our insert one, like the pocket side of it, we need a piece that measures 3 7/8 by 2 5/8. So it's just that tiny little bit short, narrower. So, and then our other piece of designer series paper measures 3 5/8 by 2 3/8, which will go on top like so. For our panel here that goes around the outside, you'll need a piece of card that measures approximately 4 inches. I've got 3 3/4 inches if you're making it out of plain square paper, not a nice curved one, by 2 1/2, and then this piece on the top here, which I'm going to put on here, measures 3 1/4 by 2 inches. But if you're using a piece of thing, I've used a piece of scrap that was measuring 4 1/4 by 3 1/2, 2 3/4, sorry. So, but that bit's rubbish. Okay, so let's get on with our card. Let's move all those out of the way and let's bring in our scoreboard and do all our scoring. Okay. Okie dokie, so we're going to pop this into our scoreboard on the long side and using our scoring tool, making sure that we're using the small end, not the large end, because we're using cardstock. And we're going to score this at 2 7/8 and 5 7/8. Now you will notice that this panel here in the middle is that little bit shorter, and that is what we want, or bigger I should say, sorry, bigger. That's the 3-inch panel, which is what we want. We want this piece on the end here to be that little bit smaller, because we are actually going to do everything, our pocket out of that piece. So what we're going to do first of all is we're going to then fold this in half and burnish it, and then we're going to fold this piece in and burnish it as well. And you will see that it is that little bit shorter, which is good because it will fold in without any problems. So we're going to then be using a 1-inch hole punch, and we're going to punch a little bit of a half circle out of that piece. Roughly, you can measure it if you want, or you can eyeball it like I am and throw in everything all over the floor. And then we're going to use our piece that goes on the smaller pieces out of the 2 lots, which is the pocket layers, and we're going to pop them onto there like so, over the top of that hole. Now I'd cut that one out first because we want to actually not want to be cutting through a lot of layers, because it can actually get really hard on your punches and can actually damage them. So we don't want to spend money and then, you know, we find that we ruin it and we can't use it again. So making sure that this pattern here on your card is actually in portrait, and I don't know what that is, but we'll get rid of that. And then we're going to then pop this back in here again, lining it up where we did it before, so we can go through the layer of your designer series paper and your cardstock, but not 2 layers of card. It will do it, but it can ruin it, and it's just not worth it. I mean, you spend a lot of money on your punches and everything. You don't want to wreck it. So for me now, I'm going to actually put some tape around here. Now I'm using red liner tape because it's easier. It's up to you whether or not you want to use red liner tape or whether you want to use some tear and tape or a bit of glue. But I'm using red liner because you're going to be pulling things in and out, so you want it to be as strong as possible. So I'm just going to pop a piece down both sides, and you don't want it to be too wide. And this is where the red liner tape, this is only the, I don't know what size this is. Hang on, let me have a look. I'll pop it on the thing and have a look. This is the 1/4 inch size. So let's pop them off of there, nice and hard. That's the one thing with red liner tape, you do have to make sure it's down nice and hard, otherwise when you peel off the red layer it just peels a whole lot off. So I find even with this tear and tape, if you press it down nice and hard, you'll find that it will go down much better. Okay, so we're going to then turn that over onto the other one, and then compress that down nice and hard. And that's ready. Our pocket is now ready. If you pop your fingers in there, you're going to see how that's kind of be able to go, and you can just that little bit of movement there. Alright, so that's our card inside pocket done. So we're going to then pop our outside of our card on here. So these were the bigger two pieces, which was the 3 7/8 by 2 3/4 and the 3 5/8 by 2.5. And once again, if you've got a design on your paper, make sure that it is in landscape on this piece here, and that's going to go onto this section of your card right here. So that is the front of our card done and our pocket done. So let's pop them on one side for a minute, and then we're going to work on our bit of stamping that we're going to be doing. So we're going to do our stamping for both pieces here. So we're going to pop our piece of designer series paper down this edge the correct way up. This is optional, but I just think that it just adds that little bit of niceness to it. So I'm going to leave a tiny little gap just on that side and pop that down there on that side there. By putting that on there now, I do take the risk of not getting my things ready, my words in the right place, but I do also find that it's easier to make sure I've got everything correct. Now I'm putting my happy birthday on the inside of my card, like so, because I want the words on the outside, and I want them on this left hand side as much as possible. Right hand side as much as possible. Okay, I thought that looked a bit wonky there. It's definitely not. Alright, so now we can glue those two pieces together. And pop that on the inside of the card. And I have a hair in there. Thank you. I don't want that hair in there. And we're going to glue this piece onto the front of our scallop piece, or our larger piece if we're not using a scallop piece. Like so. Alright, pin please. I know I'm going to use it again. Oh, I do need it again. What am I doing? Okay, so we're bringing back in our card, and we can pop our inside piece into the inside of the card here. Like so. I don't think I cut that piece very good by the looks of things. It looks a bit off on that corner. This piece here we're going to glue like halfway, roughly. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm going to turn this over, and I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and put a little mark there, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and a mark there, just so that I know that I don't put any glue any further than that spot. Now this is optional. You can pop this on with dimensions if you want, or you could actually do it any way you liked. So I'm going to just pop it on this way, and I'm going to measure it up roughly so that this is like about 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, oops, there, roughly there, like so, in the middle of the card. As I say, it is optional to how far you want to do it, but that's just how I worked it out. I have a couple of these flowers now, so let me just pop this side down again, making sure it's nice and tight. And I'm going to be using dimensions for this. They're the small ones. Let's get me the larger ones here. There we go. So I'm going to pop these like so on that side of the card. I don't know how far out they need to go, so I'm going to keep them quite close to the middle. Just making sure that they don't lean over the edge or over onto this piece here, because you don't want them intruding over onto those sections. This one will go here, like so. And now I've got some leaves. Let's pop a little bit of glue onto my leaves. I've actually stamped these and cut them out. I cut out 4, but that doesn't mean you have to use 4. And you could make this card for any reason. So you might not even be using. Pop that one up there. Come on, get in there. That's better. Just press that one down like so, and that's those on. I don't think I'm going to use the other one at all. So I pop the end in my glue here, and let's get my dots, and I'm going to use the small one, the medium size one here, and I'm going to pop them in the middle of the flowers, I think. That's 3, but I want some little ones. It's always nice to keep things in odd numbers. They actually seem to complement better. But again, that's personal choice. So that's our card for today. I could use a bit of Winter Stella around these if I wanted to. But I think it's a beautiful card, and it holds that gift card wherever my other card is. I'll take my Amazing card out of there and show you it fits in there just gorgeously. Right. It is a little bit tight the first few times, but I'll tell you now, it does get easier. And that's why it's good to have that extra piece down there, that tiny little bit of extra room down there. So that's our card for today. As I say, you can see that that fits in there gorgeously. If you like today's card, please leave me a thumbs up. Please subscribe so you don't miss any other projects. If you would like the written tutorial for this, which is written in English using both metric and imperial measurements, you will find that at Die's Den for Stamping, Crafting and Tutorials. You will find the tutorial links down the bottom here, and all the links to my YouTube, my Pinterest and everything else that I subscribe to. So if you would like this, I'd love to see you there. We would all love to see you there. So I will see you again next week. Bye for now.